Oh,
Albus of Palor, because the world had all the Greyhawk gods, like all the canonical Greyhawk gods on it. All right. You're called into Theodore Esteban Valencia III Esquire's office at the Crimson Sands main business area. Now, everything about the fighting doesn't happen like directly in the Colosseum. In fact, you guys spend a lot of time away from the Triple Colosseums themselves. Given that you are employees of the Crimson Stable, I don't think any of you are slaves that are working off debt or anything like that. Although arguably, they probably know about Magnus's situation and are taking advantage of it. Of course, they're taking advantage of a student with student debt. They're not paying you as much as they could have because you're not an archwizard yet.
Yes.
And then Ashoka is a new arrival to the stable. You've seen him creeping around. He seems to be following Theodore Esteban in his shadow, and you're not too sure what his purpose is.
You know, I always liked you the best, Albus.
He knows that you're in the hall, and you can hear him. You notice this snake-scaled guy sitting on a bench, waiting outside the office. He's got a small satchel beside him. Both Magnus and Phineas, as well as some of the other stable masters, have been called into Theodore's office. Theodore is the second. He is the right-hand man of Sir Prentice Pennywise, who himself has a bad gambling problem and is the face of the organization. The gladiators hate him, and you know that he is pinching pennies wherever he can to pay for his gambling debts, which he's likely not reporting to the true money lenders.
Mm-hmm.
The Order of the Crimson Sands is in dire straits, and it has been for some time.
perfect.
I've always liked you. You know how to squeeze a couple of coppers into a great golden sun.
That is not the purpose of faith. I am here to keep the warriors of this land strong, so that their memories shall...
Yes, yes, memories echoing. I've heard it all before. More wine.
Yes, Theodore. You can hear Albus pouring Theodore some more wine.
I hear heavy breathing outside. Come on in, Magnus. Drag whoever is skulking around out there with you. I haven't spoken to all of you yet.
I don't skulk. I'm here. I'm coming. Yeah.
They sure do grow them dumb, don't they, in whatever province you came from?
Yeah, but I never lose my fight, huh? Just this one time I scar over here, but I learn from it. I kill him the week after.
True. A warrior that does not know when to lose his fight is a stupid one. Stupid is synonymous with brave, I suppose. Yes. Which would mean... which would mean your spells of bravery are actually spells of stupidity.
He's right drunk.
You hear him, he's breathing heavier. Next is a zero int, not a negative.
All right, you heavy breather. How are the gladiators faring?
That shit, you're bringing me scum. I want
Well.
something better than mules. Give me horses, give me good breeds. This is garbage.
You know that it's the year of celebration?
No, I don't want to waste my time on cannon fodder. You want to throw garbage into the ring, you throw garbage in the arena. You give me something, I'll make him a hero, make him amazing. I'm a real fighter.
It's the first time our great sovereign has presided over the games.
Thinking he best fighter, I'll make him the better fighter. He might be something close to me even one day.
It will be his next fucking birthday by the time this bloodbath is done. Just be thankful that we're not giving you horses to slaughter. But still, the last match. Not a single stroke. Not a single sling or arrow. What do we pay you for?
Fuck off. I'm the best trainer you have. Come on.
That's right. That's right. Stupid. You're lucky. If Pennywise was here, you wouldn't be talking like that. You know what he did last time when he added to your debts?
Yeah, that's bullshit. I'll get rid of my debts.
Yeah, you work them off. Training your cows for the slaughter.
Yeah, he's eating candy.
Who else is out there skulking around?
Gotta watch some Conan right now.
Come into the office. You haven't
Are you
received
going
your
first,
brow
or
beating,
shall I?
or your beating browed.
Of course.
Oh, hello there, Phineas. How are you doing?
Quite well, thank you. He steps a little bit aside from the large Magnus. Tries to stay at arm length. away.
Is the scaled one out there?
I believe so, sir.
Oh, could you please invite him in?
You notice that he's really polite to the wizards.
Fleshcrafter is a healer. That's awesome.
A shocker.
Ashoka will nod to Phineas. He will step into the room.
Phineas nods back, but once you step in, he kind of steps away from you as well.
Well, my
Noted.
my serpentine friend from lands beyond Tarak.
What will be the title for this guy? Theodore like the whole, is it the whole thing?
He is not the stable master. He's the
Would it be like Theodore, like Esquire? Like, what would be the...
that's his imperial title. He is effectively the second in command of the stable. He's not the stable master.
A pleasure as always, Theodore.
And we just met. Just wait until we see who wears who thin. I hear you're some sort of wizard.
Magic in the blood, sir.
Sorcerers. Curious. Very curious.
You could see he's thinking about it. He's thinking about what he knows about sorcerers. He gives you a look over that suggests that even while he's drunk, he may have bouts of insight. Of course, he's drunk and he's letting all of his cards show.
Well, I don't know what your business is here, but I'm sure we'll find out soon enough. You'll make use of yourself.
Who hired me?
It wasn't Theodore Esteban Valencia III Esquire, and it was not Serpentis Pennywise. Apparently, some of the money backers of Sir Prentice Pennywise and the stable called I forgot the name, Crimson Sands, the Conclave of the Crimson Sands.
Conclave.
Some of the money backers of the Conclave knew that the stable was not doing well, and they hired you for, you're pretty sure, for particular skills. What are your skills?
Diplomacy, bluff, and charms are the main ones. Subterfuges.
Maybe they've gotten tired of the stable master and his second. We'll call him Secundus.
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 Sounds like a sex act.
It means second, dude. No, bad Adam.
Oh yeah. Oh, there we go.
Bad Adam, you've got Ahmed going. No, bad.
Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah.
All right then.
All right, so his second is you're sure that if this is his second, that they're lacking grace, charm, the ability to influence.
Don't worry, I'm a quick study, Secundus.
Yes. Well, the whole lot of you stink. As you know, or may not know, because you're not from around these parts. What strange parts you've got. Where was I? Oh yes, more wine.
And you see that this healer, this priest, is pouring wine into his probably gold-plated cup. It's probably not a solid gold cup.
The Sovereign Prince. It's his 7th birthday. 7 being a holy number.
He's making stuff up.
He is presiding, or old enough to preside over his first games. Well, one of the upper doohoos. Perhaps it was the regent to try to toughen the boy up. Or maybe his grandmother. She is a bit of a viper, I hear. Or maybe a gift from the Commissioner of Games, or all these things. Have decided that they would impress the young Sovereign Prince with a great spectacle. And you dullards have yet to find out what this spectacle is going to be. How are we supposed to prepare a great victory for our conclave without you knowing what the spectacle is going to be? Perhaps we'll get lucky. And it will be a donkey race.
He's looking right at Magnus.
So,
Magnus apparently is
Flexes
breathing
his
at him.
chest. Max flexing his chest.
A servant kind of clears his throat out in the hallway, and you can see that there is a small entourage of people coming in. Theodore puts his wine glass away into his desk drawer. The wine glass is full, and he had to put the wine glass sideways into the desk drawer, so you're pretty sure that there's wine being spilt. He stands up and kind of wobbles a little bit and then leans on the desk, trying to act like he hasn't been drinking, as a big entourage of people. There are sycophants. Oh, the sycophants. The people, the yes men of Sir Prentice Pennywise. He has squandered away riches that combined none of you have even come close to achieving in your lives.
Am I?
Oh, yes. And this one, I own this one. And you, that one over there, skulking away, slithering away like a snake. You're one of his pets, aren't you? Apparently he's also drunk, maybe high on himself, maybe both. As this, like he got half-dressed, or maybe 5 days ago he was dressed nice. There's a bit of a clown suit mixed in with his pearls, and very, very rich and scabby at the same time. He's got a good he's got a good sweat on him, like he's partied, slept, and then partied some more. You notice that his sycophants are looking quite tired and unimpressed.
Ashoka Maruya, assigned to your service.
My service, yes. And don't you forget it. Don't you think for a moment that I wouldn't... Well, tell our dear lord, and he's not using the proper title, you're sure, that you've displeased me. Now, if you wouldn't mind getting out of my way... Yes, see these men here. I could have any of them thrown into the gladiatorial ring if I want. I own all of their contracts, and by my last counting, they are all in debt to me. Oh, and there's my favorite. He walks up to Theodore and chubs his cheeks. Theodore is trying to grimace through the pains despite being drunk. So Apprentice Pennywise is and then taps him on the head. Yep. Are you being a good chap, Theodore? Yes, we were discussing strategies, my lord. Good. I expect us to win. My lord, our stable is only a mere fraction of what it's been before, both in number and in quality. Magnus over here. Magnus, yes! Oh, you big bull of a man, you. You came at a heavy cost. Not just by talents. An imperial talent is worth 1,000 gold piece. Not just by talents, but by... talent. And he wipes your shoulder suggestively. And he slaps the side of it. However, we cannot have you wasting your blood in the arena unless the stratagem is to dress him up like one of our gladiators, and voila! He is one of our gladiators. Oh, and, Albus, you'll be on whatever the finale is. You are going to be dressed up like a gladiator. I've already seen to it. Albus kind of is. But a contract. Yes, the contract. Well, there was a clause, you see. I'm sure you could take it up with an arbiter after the games are done. Make sure that we succeed, Albus. I don't care how many boos you get for making everything shine like the sun. Show them what Palor is all about. And make me filthy rich. We are at least 1,000 to 1 to win. Toodaloo!
Fuck.
I'm not too good at math. But that's bad.
That's a lot.
Theodore just seems to deflate at this. He sits down behind his desk.
Ashoka is calculating, and it's like, okay, step one, we need to make these guys win. Then destroy what little reputation the rubes in charge have to get them swapped for something better. But first we have to not... What with the whole, oh no, you go die. Yeah.
Theodore's like, he just deflates. He sits down on his seat. He kind of pulls out his wine, his big wine goblet. It's spilled all over. There's probably some important papers and some scrolls. He just sticks it out. I cannot go back. It is in the contract.
Yes, well, those devils did come up with those contracts. We all have clauses, you see. Don't forget this, my friends. It is not something I should actually say out loud. You might think you're free men, but you are not.
Perhaps you should use your breath to tell me more about where I would find the information about this surprise, this grand spectacle.
Yeah, I need to know. He grabs Choka by the shoulder. Yeah, good thinking. We need to know what's coming. I need to send the right boys for this. Got to train hard.
Yes, we need to train our boys to be hard.
Got to train right. You can't have the stupid one.
That came out wrong, just saying.
I got a 28 on knowledge local. Where would we go to find this out? Or does that let me know what's going to happen?
No, but somebody's got to know something. If there are beasts, you could probably go to the pens or talk to one of the other gladiatorial arenas. If it's a grand melee, somebody would know.
And it's in the town we're in, right?
Yes, the Imperial City. Somebody in the Imperial City would know, and it would be in one of the 3 Colosseums. The triple Colosseums, which are all kind of conveniently placed close to each other, are Arena Moors is where most of the dying happens. It's a sand-filled, standard, massive Colosseum where thousands of people can fit. The Conjureum is the magical place where some of the most powerful summoners and greatest summoners have summoned creatures fantastic and wonderful to fight for the aristocracy. Normal people don't go to the Conjureum. In fact, your stable doesn't have the resources to go and compete there.
Okay.
And then the Hippodrome. The Hippodrome is where races happen. It's set up for charioteering, like a chariot track, a horse race track, slave racing.
Do we have charioteers?
The Conclave of the Crimson Sands have not always been so dire straits, and in older years, your stable did have like the resources to field beasts and horses and chariots.
Okay.
No, you sold your horses for as Magnus put it, donkeys.
Okay.
Of course, a lot of this might have been before your time, but you thought oh, they're gonna hire me, and you showed up and like, this company is balls.
This is a bunch of bullshit.
Right. I'm doing what?
So who's new to? So who's new here? Who's new here? Achoka's new.
Ashoka.
And how long has is it Phineas or Phineas?
Phineas.
Phineas. How long has Phineas been around? Like, are we close? Are we
Phineas has been around for a season, long enough to give a few of your gladiators some tattoos. Do you even have the ability to do magical ones? No, not magical ones yet. But you know that you can create potions.
Yeah, he makes potions.
He does do a little bit of healing, maybe?
Yep.
You get the sense that Phineas, he doesn't hide his feelings very well. You get the feeling he's afraid of you.
Of Magnus?
Yeah, he's afraid of you.
Oh, okay.
You look like the people who gave him swirlies. That's the reason why he shaved his head, because there's too many swirlies. It's just a dipper without hair.
Magnus.
I'm sure you're smart enough to figure it out.
And you notice that it's Theodore Esteban Valencia III Esquire's nap time, as he's shooing you guys away. Albus is in a panic. Magnus, there's time to train. I haven't been in the arena since, well, my first match. And then I was downgraded to Tempe. And then my contract was bought out so that I may keep the stable clean and healthy.
Stop fucking complaining. We'll figure some shit out. You're still a warrior in your heart. He smacks him on his breastplate. You're still a warrior in there. Stop forget that. Come on.
How old is he, by the way?
40-ish.
still have lots of years of kicking and fighting left. Come on. We gotta see what you're training and where we can find what you're fucking fighting.
We can provide you with
Baldy shit.
certain advantages.
So there's gonna be a lot of fucking because I'm still figuring out the language here.
I must pray upon this. If you excuse me, I will take my leave and then go
I'll
join.
send the best fighters with you. Don't worry about that. I'll get the accent, guys. Don't worry.
Yep.
You're doing fine.
Albus just nods. He looks frightened for a man of faith. A little bit shocked, and he decides to go and join. He decides to go off into prayer.
May I make a suggestion, gentlemen?
That we do something useful.
Perhaps if we go into town, we'll check the pens, see what animals are being purchased. We'll check the prisons, see if any prisoners are being extracted for the games. Might give us an idea as to the numbers and likelihood of what we'll be facing.
Agreed. Are we being set up to fail?
1,000 to 1 odds and the expectation of winning, I suggest we are.
Correct. So who are we fighting against with our 1,000 to 1 odds? What are the odds being made against? Bookies would know something. Who's the
course they
odds
would.
maker?
Got to find out from them.
All we need to
Bullshit.
do is go place a bet. They'll ask
Sending.
us who we're betting on.
This is your town, not mine.
Oh,
Who
no,
makes
no.
the odds?
Oh no, you don't.
So who are
understand.
you?
That, he points outside, is not my town. My town is on the 3rd floor and higher.
Hey, come on, let's get out of here. We need to
Okay.
find out what's going on. Not gonna do it in the office here. Bullshit stink.
Knowledge local. Placing bets.
Oops.
Yeah, I don't got that.
26.
There's a place that is known for its pomp and luxury. It is called the Ivory Palace. And it is ruled over by a strange creature called Papa Grand.
We could go to the Ivory Palace and speak to Papa Grand. I'm sure there's bookies there looking to take people's money.
Papa Grand sounds like a man who knows something.
He is smart. He's a man about town. He would know. But
Then
his
we should go speak to Big Daddy, shall we?
Yes, you should. I will show you the way.
Proceed.
Okay. So you,
Magnus, you'll be joining us, won't you?
Yeah, I'll come with you.
Yes, I will point the way for you, large one.
Ah, come on, Attila. Puts his sword over his shoulder.
Okay, that's very sharp. Watch my face, please.
You know the way. Yeah, the Attila is the name of your sword?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Freya is the name of his short sword-sized knife.
that's awesome. That is just great.
Those are awesome names for
All
weapons.
right. So the Ivory Palace is this just
John King, nice.
series of it's like a raised palisade a raised platform that should have been where a market was, but instead it is dominated by these white and gold pavilion tents that are kind of overlapping, one major tent and 4 side ones. Papa Grand, also known as Papa Devereaux.
Oh my god.
I'm trying to remember where that's from.
That is
It's like
Marlon Brando from
The Island.
The Island, Dr. Moreau.
Oh yes, that was a fantastic movie. Well, fantastic role he played, anyways.
Papa Devereaux surrounds himself with anthropomorphics. His big tent has a lot of servants and people who are basically that are beast men of various types.
well, Ashoka sees anthropomorphic people everywhere, and this seems to be an appropriate place to be in general. Big Elephant Man is awesome. He's got 2 trunks. Is there a Rabbit Man, Marty?
There might be somewhere in the mix of this. I created a custom race, which I decided to break out for this. They are called
Lady Gaga. Yeah, that makes me want to play. New Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff is cool.
I called them Nosrogs were the rhinos, and I gave a name to the elephant folk. I didn't reuse Loxo, which is the
We call the rhinos Rocksteadies.
No, we did not.
No, we don't. Oh,
No, we did not.
Rocksteadies.
And there will be no bebops.
Aw, man. I created in a campaign that is dominated by these creatures. Not Rocksteady and Bebop, but very similar name, which I think I will reuse.
Exactly. Miyamoto Usagi is exactly the character I'm thinking about. He is so cool in the newest.
These are called Fant. The race of elephant folk are called Fant. There are 2 guards to this place that admit you, and they're a pair. Gotta find. Here's Kirop.
He's sticking his tongue out at me.
And Stone Ready.
That is Rocksteady. That's awesome. That is awesome. Mark, shut your mouth.
So Kirop and Kirop is a Nosrog. Kirop is like a hippo man. He is called a Giff. GIFF. And Stone Ready is a Nosrog, and the 2 of them are standing outside. Are standing outside the Ivory Palace.
Yeah, and so then I said, what did you say, Stone Ready? Then I said, hey, what is this? Yeah, no, what is this? Yeah, and then what did you say? No, shut up, Kirop. I don't remember you saying that.
Gentlemen.
Gentle what? Who you calling gentle?
This thing is snorting in your face. I know it's medium, but these things are pushing large in size. You know, 8 feet tall when it finally kind of rocks itself out of its chair. There's like two of you could curl up in its belly. His jerkin,
and powerful warriors guarding.
His jerkin and the bottom button of his jerkin have long ago lost the war against his rotundness.
We seek entry.
Kirop is even bigger. It looks like he's standing, but somewhere disappeared underneath his giant thighs and his great gut is this perfectly balanced stool. And he's just kind of like sitting. Kirop's got a cudgel that might even be a reach weapon. It's like a tetsubo. And Stone Ready is just cracking his knuckles.
Who'd you call General?
As I said, I misspoke.
You're not supposed to beat up the customer, Stone Ready.
No one's beating anyone up.
Oh, look at this pretty runt.
Oh.
Can I beat up him? I don't know. Is he a customer? Are you a customer?
We are customers.
You're a
He
customer.
is
I need to hear it from him.
Lucky.
You a customer?
Magnus is getting a crazy look at his eyes, looking at a Joker.
He is a customer's
I don't
god.
know, Stone Ready. Doesn't look like he's a customer. Nah, he looks like one of them rich gladiator types. You aren't gonna cause no problems. Wait a second. Hey, if he causes problems, can then I break his skull open? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, go on in.
We need his skull. If he causes problems, break his legs.
Oh, okay. You heard him.
He's-
You heard him.
Was a fucking joke to you all? Fucking slice all your heads off.
Hey.
Hey. All right, that's enough.
As you're moving by them, Kirop just kind of like spreads his arm over the door without getting up from the stool. You're pretty sure you hear the stool creaking though when he's kind of leaning his arm over.
Hey, the entry fee. Don't forget the entry fee.
What is the entry fee?
It's 1 silver.
Okay, I think
He's so fat that his tongue is kind of pushing out of his mouth a little bit, like a swollen apple.
Very much like an apple.
Here you go.
Yeah.
What are you?
Pay the guy.
Yeah,
I'm assuming
okay,
We
you-
have, yeah.
You pay yourself, and pretty soon you are in the soft and furry delights of the Ivory Palace. There are things called cat folk, who are scantily clad and serving drinks of both sexes. There are groups of other anthropomorphs sitting around large hookahs playing strange tile games that look like they're made out of ivory and other precious metals. There's a weird sitar-ish like music, and you can see sitting at the center of all this, like he's a statue, is this very, very old and big man with strange goggles on his head. He's got these small armadillo creatures. You're pretty sure they're called Vark. They are almost indistinguishable from each other. Like, you can't quite tell you can't quite tell them apart. Aside from little markings on their forehead. Let's see if I can find some Vark for you. It's like little armadillo men. There we go. They are kobold in size.
Yep.
Some of them are like offering strange things to you, but you can't understand their weird nasally language. They seem to only go away when shooed.
Snip.
Unless any of you took Vark.
No, I did not know what languages to take.
Well, yeah. Pretty certain Vark isn't it.
Okay.
Yeah, Phineas, he carries around one of those fans that you flip open, and he uses that to shoo things away.
Okay, so Papa Devereaux is surrounded by Vark. You can see that they are feeding him things. They are using these larger fans to kind of fan him off. And you can see that there's this really, really scabrous-looking catfolk that it looks like he's in the middle of doing a portrait, like kind of painting a portrait
Yep.
of Papa Devereaux, who needs to take a seat after standing in some sort of like grand pose with his hand up in the air. He's actually trembling a little bit and sweaty. Oh, so hot these days. So hot. This damn heat. Oh, yes, there you go. Yes, all right there, Freddy. You can see that he's drinking from something equivalent to a straw out of a coconut that is cut open with some sort of drink inside.
How hot is it?
It's summer, but it's got to be magically cool in here for some reason. And you do see this slight bluish glow around him. Spellcraft check.
Oh, I'm good at those.
All right. Should be something like that. 16 magic.
Yeah, he's probably got some abjuration around him. Oh yeah, it's most definitely an Endure Elements. It's actually glowing a little bit pink, which means that it's warm enough that the Endure Elements is working. But he still seems to have a good sweat. Maybe it's because he's trying to rival the two fat guards out there with his own girth. He's dressed in like a muumuu of like silks. He's wearing a hat like he's out in the desert. And he's covered in white paste. Or like white talcum powder that's turned to paste with some of his... The Varks seem to be quite good and uncomplaining servants. They each have their singular tasks they seem to be doing. And when one goes away, another one comes by with another task. Or to relieve the one with his current task. Oh my. Look at you. I mean, look at you. Bring me my mirror. You notice that some Varks go over and produce a mirror. Oh, yes. Actually, he's now looking at himself in the mirror. A little more powder, please. It is so warm in here. It is so warm these days. Then the Vark end up providing powder for Papa Devereaux or Papa Grand. Oh, yes. Look at yourself. Are you one of the Beast Lords? Yes, you are, aren't you? The gods themselves, they say. Not the Fire-Faced God. They would never commit such blasphemies. But the gods themselves, they say, got tired. Perhaps of fighting the Imperium. I wouldn't blame them. We're an exhausting people. They got tired of fighting. So they laid down, and like they took off their own hat or sunglasses or whatever gave them power, and said, "Here, kitty cat, here, elephant, here, whatever you are, you little Varklings."
We're Vark.
Yes, we understand that. And bestowed upon them the power of, well, thumbs. Of their own godhood. You know that there's a bunch of gods around there, wandering around with animals for heads. Quite fascinating, isn't it? Are you one of those animals, I wonder?
I am Nagaji.
Nagachi, yes. I wonder if there's any sort of yuan qi infection. Oh, don't worry. I use the word liberally, loosely. The scientific terms of what I speak of are well above your head.
Of course.
They don't call me doctor in some circles, for no reason. Well, when any of the Imperials come in here and give me a hard time, I proclaim that these people are all here for my research. Yeah. Perhaps if you please me, I could do some research on you. Yes, there is something funny about you, isn't there? Something funny indeed. Don't worry, Papa's always got the nose for it. Snort! Where's my snort?
Snort. Vark.
Yes, you're a Vark, and you definitely have my snort. As he snorts some substance down and wipes it from his nose.
Does our druggy friend know this substance?
It's probably some sort of snuff. Whether it's drugs or just tobacco, you're not sure, but it seems that probably
Puts the
Devereaux.
lotion on its skin.
Pretty much, yeah.
Come forward, the other one of you, strapping young lad, and someone painted like a whore.
No.
Which one is which? Looks like you belong in the arena, but have not spent enough time there. It looks like you spent some time in the arena, but do not belong. This man is not as nincompoopish as maybe he first appears.
Yeah, no, I don't like this guy.
And then coming over, just leaning on his big cudgel, is this
Oh,
massive,
it's
this massive
Elephant
11
Man's
foot
cool.
tall.
We can bring him with us, but
Just sort of looking at you. Unfortunately, the Elephant Man doesn't look like he's got much personality. Just looks like he's like a guard.
We are here. We were just wondering.
A philosopher! We are here! Thank you.
yes, we are
I
here.
needed that.
That's not what I
It's funny. He's got a good sense of humor.
The upcoming games, the odds seem rather stacked.
Yes, if you know what game you're betting on, it's all just sort of scenery, distraction, and conniving.
The Conclave of the Crimson Sand.
Oh, is there an echo in here?
We were just wondering why the odds apparently are so far against them.
Your master doesn't think so. What would he do if he knew his underlings were here? Are you going to place such exorbitant bets on yourself? Not a wise thing to do in these trying times for such a little house.
We'd hate for the games themselves to be fixed, or for any sort of presumption of guilt in that fashion.
Then you must hate quite a lot. Oh, this one is going to be the death of me. What is it that I can do for you, gentlemen?
It's quite simple. It's tell us what you know about this coming fight.
Oh, this one thinks information is for free.
What's
very-
funny?
How very quaint.
Looks at the Joker and his teammate. What's funny? I don't get it.
No, we understand that it is not free. We also understand that not all games are won.
You're looking to gain some sort of advantage, aren't you? Well, I don't fix games here. I simply allow people to place their bets, to favor the gladiators that they have in their wee hearts. I am a purveyor of wishes, and I grant very few. But for you, Snake Man Nagaji, I will tell you something for a very small price.
And the price would be?
It wouldn't hurt a bit.
My flesh is my own. As are my fluids.
Oh. What about a scale? I simply want to know what you are.
I am Nagaji.
No. Oh. For my studies.
Do you want Lord Pennywise in your debt?
No. No, I do not. He is owned almost exclusively by others. He is a
And when
foolish man, although I probably own him several times over by now.
And what happens if he cannot pay?
Liquidation of all his assets. Or maybe he and his co-conspirators would end up in the arena. Now, wouldn't that be something?
It would be. I doubt anyone would conspire to lose money.
I guess Dominique cocaine-covered fat man. It's a very rare spell, but
It's a good one. It's strong.
So what is it you have to offer? I do not hear your bags clinking with coin or talents. And I don't see much talent here. Some crude attempts at bothering me. Unless there's another price you'd like to pay. But you seem to think that I have nefarious designs upon your scale. Such a small thing. Such a small thing that could be found in other ways. And then you could come back here and, well, ask me what I found out about you. About your origin. About the taint that is surrounding your blood. There's something about you, Nagaji. Don't think I haven't been at this for a long time. Some sort of hidden bloodline. My eyes do not lie. And he taps his weird goggles, and now you're suspicious of the magic item that he has.
If I give you the scale, will you stop talking about it?
Yes. Yes, I
As well as
will.
provide us with some guidance on how to best keep ourselves off of the free market.
Oh, yes. The free market ain't free. Oh, come. Bring my kit. A bunch of Varks come over, and they have this doctorish bag, and he opens it up, and...
What do you fear? Encounter 1. The thing you fear! Fuck!
Sorry. This guy has a talent, and apparently he puts out all these
creepy fetish man. Of course he's got a creepy fetish.
Oh, and he's surrounded by anthropomorphs, and
Yes,
you're an
and I'm
anthropomorph.
an anthropomorph.
You know, a long time ago, I believed that I could create. I tried to prove that certain races had their throwbacks. Awfully messy. He takes out this little implement, and there's this little clean cloth and a nice glass case, If you don't mind, come a little closer.
He pulls.
I'm not a man
his-
of vigor I used to be.
He pulls his robes and shirt back on his arm, holds it out.
Do you malt?
I would assume yes. Yeah,
There's a bit right there.
it is
He takes
not quite annually.
He takes the slightest bit of scale that is already flecking, something that would have flecked off in your next
Yeah.
bathing, your bathe scrape or whatever it is that you oil a cloth and your next oiling. He takes a little scrape and he looks at it for a moment and then carefully puts it down into the thing and then puts it away and then uses the towel to wipe himself up because all of that exertion caused him to sweat. He puts it carefully back into his tray. He closes the bag. He sends the bag away with another Vark that has a name like Steve. Steve, Joe, Bob. Like you're not sure if they have names or if he just calls them by that. But they each have a different like marking,
Pattern.
like a white pattern kind of marked on their forehead. Probably in the same talcum. Like he might have drawn
Probably
it.
just
kind of
drew.
drawing it, right.
Which one has a penis doodle on it?
So apparently the Vark don't seem to mind.
uh,
Very well then. Do you have a name, or shall I give it a specimen number?
Ashoka.
Ashoka. Oh, very exotic. Not from around here, are you, Ashoka?
No,
Oh.
I'm
well.
in town on business.
Given that you are so polite and gave me such a good time this afternoon, I'm going to tell you where it is that you need to go and look. Or at least, where you won't be allowed to look. You should probably go into the Hippodrome. Notice that it hasn't been used in the last 10 days, and notice how much security is there. What goes in must come out. Good luck to you, Ashoka. Stable masters of the Crimson Sands. You're not going to like what they're doing to the sands there.
Need to keep penny wise and pennies.
Yes, as they say. He gives Magnus a wink. To the hilt.
Yeah.
I do believe it is time for my nap lunch.
Wait, what did he say?
His nap lunch.
Shit.
Toodaloo.
God damn Chewbacca.
Okay.
What? You just got to get yourselves in the mind of the token. In the mind of the token. In the mind of the
Shoka
token.
is going to basically grab somebody's drink on the way out, drink it, and keep going.
Okay.
Like
Hey!
whatever's laying on the table.
You know, like, hey, this is some dude's drink. Oh, yeah. There might actually be a Nagaji or two here. You might actually be able to find your people here. You can see that there was a Nagaji woman that looked like she was giving. We've used this concept before, a masseuse, and she was using kind of like her hands and her tail.
Wait, Choke's got a tail?
Ashoka's got a tail. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very proud. Look at you.
Please stop that.
Come on, you have to be like, oh, look at me. Come on, huh?
Did you cause any trouble?
So Stone ready at the door.
No.
No, we were perfectly well behaved.